I just think it's a shame that nothing's going to happen over a loss of a little girl. You know, it's a joke. And if I would have did it, or anybody else would have did it, they would have took us to the police station right away, questioned you, railroaded you. But since you have money in Boulder,
then they let him sit in the living room and search for the body.
Yeah, it was messed up from the start.
But do you think that it maybe because the Ramseys had connections with the police department and with the higher-ups?
I think Alex Hunter got paid off and the grand jury got paid off is what I think happened.
Or do you think that just basically...
I think that's what happened.
Or maybe they're just in the same elite group.
No, they're not, because my mom works with a couple of the jurors, and they're not real sophisticated like they said they were on TV. They're factory workers.
But I doubt that they got paid off. Maybe perhaps the DA led them down the road.
Well, what I think is probably going to happen is there's going to be a fund that's going to come about, and they might not get the money directly from Alex Hunter, but I have a feeling somebody's got paid off in this because something like this just doesn't happen, you know?
Well, the DA controls the case, so they're presenting it to the grand jury, so if they want the grand jury not to indict, then they won't indict.
That's right.
So
But
they don't have to be paid off.
they don't have to be paid off, but I think something fishy happened. All of a sudden they were going to indict, and then they bring in one defense witness, and all of a sudden they flip-flop their whole case. Something's wrong there.
So you say there was one defense...
There was a defense witness they started bringing in to talk to people. And I forgot the gentleman's name, but once he started saying his spiel, then all of a sudden there was going to be no indictment. He was on behalf of the Ramseys, the guy who spoke. But anyway, I think it's just a big old mess. You know, they screwed up in the investigation in the first place, and then they're trying to cover it up now with any lame excuse they can, not enough evidence. How much evidence do you need? Nobody broke into the house, nobody broke out of the house, but yet there's a dead body and 3 people in the house. Somebody had to do it. You know? I just think it's a shame. It's a travesty of justice.
How could they not come up with an indictment?
How could they not?
Yeah.
Because of the influence of the Ramseys have in this town. Money talks, you know what I mean.
And what about the flubbing of the first day? I mean, let's start from the beginning. They screwed up their own case, but
right.
do you think that...
Because, well, first they handled it like a kidnapping because they didn't expect to be a murder there.
But even so,
But even so, they should have had a little more tact about the whole situation.
Yeah, how could you have a search be made by a suspect? Even if you don't.
That's it.
Even if you don't know what the case is yet.
Well, the police should have searched for anybody. They should have had John and Patsy Ramsey in separate rooms. Then they should have searched the whole house, and then.
Do you think it was just ineptitude, or do you think there was something more to that? I mean, how could you be that inept as a learned
This is Boulder.
investigator?
This is Boulder. You know. Don't get caught with a cigarette in your hand in this town, but you can kill somebody. Here's the whole